Eurozone inflation fell to 9.2% in December, according to EU estimates, the first drop in consumer prices since August.
In the latest such attack on a government building, activists in Paris spray paint the Ministry of Ecology over what they see as a lack of government action on climate change.
There's little respite when it comes to inflation, as European consumers battle the surging cost of living crisis. But there is some hope. The latest figures released Friday show that consumer prices rose at the slowest pace since August. Eurozone annual inflation for December is estimated to be at 9.2%. And according to some analysts, this positive trend could continue.
We are seeing now a change in trend in inflation. I give a very large probability that inflation will continue to decline throughout 2023. And the main reasons for that, first, is that energy prices are now falling, implying that the costs of companies and also department stores are going down. So there is no price pressure from their side to raise prices. And secondly, wages increase much less than inflation, implying that consumers have a reduced purchasing power and they will consume fewer goods and services.
Consumers across Europe have been plagued by surging energy costs since Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine last February. Energy is still a main driver in terms of inflation, but the latest numbers indicate that's easing off for now. Energy costs receded sharply in October, down from 41.5% to 25.7%, while fresh food products saw a more moderate contraction from 13.8% to 12% over the last month. The majority of member states that use the euro as a currency saw inflation decrease over the past month, with a marked drop in Germany to 9.6% in December. Ireland, Spain and France were some of the countries to record the lowest inflation rates across the bloc, while Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia once again saw the highest levels.
The French Ministry of Ecology was the target of the latest paint attack by the environmentalist organisation Dernière Rénovation, or Last Renovation. A number of activists spray-painted the facade orange to denounce the French government's perceived inaction on climate change. Members of the organisation staged a similar act on Thursday at the Ministry of the Economy and on Wednesday at Matignon Palace, the official residence of the Prime Minister. Our correspondent who witnessed this latest attack said climate activists from across Europe are radicalising. They're angry at politicians who they see as too slow in their response to the climate crisis. The group Dernière Rénovation in France has announced further actions like this one. They're demanding thermal insulation of the entire building stock of France by 2040, required by law and financed by the taxpayer.
Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich may have escaped sanctions introduced after the start of Russia's war in Ukraine, the Guardian newspaper reports. Files that the London newspaper says that it's seen appear to show that nearly €4 billion of assets were transferred to his 7 children just before the sanctions were introduced. The paper says the first fund movements were in early February of last year, before Russia's invasion of Ukraine began.
January 6th is Epiphany, or Theophany in Eastern Christian churches. It's a celebration of God manifesting himself as Jesus and revealing himself to the world. It's marked in different ways, and in the Bulgarian town of Kalofa, a crucifix is thrown into a freezing cold river and the menfolk jump in to see who can find it. The traditional ceremony is called Mujoro, meaning the dance of the man. Was it cold in the water? Very. And how are you holding up? Well, if it's for my health, I should put up with it. Mostly for health we pray, and for more sanity, because we're living through very, very hard years and it's getting worse. That's why it's important that one doesn't lose hope. The traditional music is a frantic blend of pipes and drums, performed and danced only by men. According to legend, whoever participates in the ice dance will be blessed with health and happiness throughout the year.